Hey YouTube, James Polk here. It's link format time. Code of the Duelist comes out. And as of now, with this deck that I'm going to showcase to you guys, it is Trickstars. And before we go into detail, I'm just only missing like one thing out of there is to pick up the third reincarnation. And the extra deck, couldn't think of anything, but it has to be burn related. So let's get to it. For starters, 3 Trickstar Candinas. She is a Stratos on steroids. She gets to search for any Trickstar card, including herself. Does it got to be a monster as well? And to top things off, each time your opponent activates a spell track card, immediately after it resolves, they burn for 200. And then 3 Lycaris, the star attraction in Trickstars, because you got to have all 3 copies out as quickly as you can within your first turn with the proper setup of Dark Room of Nightmares and Light Stage. You should be able to OTK your opponent just fine. And if that's the case, during either player's turn, you can reveal this card in your hand, then target one Trickstar monster you control except Lycaris, special summon this card, and if you do, return that monster to the hand. Also, each time a card or cards is added to your opponent's hand, including drawing of course, burn your opponent for 200 for each. And then 3 Lily Bells. When it comes to Lily Bell, if this card is added to your hand except by drawing it, so basically Light Stage is the way for help you to search out Lily Bell, you get to special summon it from your hand. And it's a once per turn thing, of course. Lily Bell is the direct attacker, and when this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you get to target one Trickstar monster in your graveyard added to your hand. So basically, she's pretty good with the recursion. And then for the hand traps, 1 Maxi, 2 Honest, because Trickstars are lights, Ghost Ogre, and a Fed Veiler. For the spells, Foolish Burial, 3 Trickstar Light Stages. When it comes to Trickstar Light Stage, when this card is activated, you get to add 1 Trickstar monster from deck to your hand, and it's not even a once per turn thing either about activation, so basically tanky on steroids. Once per turn, you can target 1 set card in your opponent's spell trap zone. While this card is in the field zone, that set card cannot be activated until the end phase. And your opponent must activate it during the end phase, or else send it to the graveyard. Each time a Trickstar monster you control inflicts battle or effect damage to your opponent, burn your opponent for 200. And then 3 Terraformings to get them. 2 Dark Room of Nightmares. Even though I'm only planning to play 3, but to be fair, Dark Room of Nightmare is a super old card, so I'm most likely going to stick with 2. And if that's the case about Dark Room of Nightmares, as an old card, if you're not familiar with it, each time your opponent takes damage from a card effect, except Dark Room of Nightmare itself, burn your opponent for 300 damage. And then 1 Boogie Trap. It says discard 2 cards, then target 1 track card in your graveyard, set it. Also, it can be activated this turn. So basically, if you already have like one of your Trickstar reincarnations activated, and as long as you have that Boogie Trap in your hand, you get to just like necessarily ditch the 2 dead cards in your hand and then just reset it. And then you're all prepared to use that reincarnation again. So 2 Hand Destructions, 1 Twin Twister, and 1 Share Ride. Share Ride is probably to be the best draw power, because in the future meta call, where if they play cards or effect that utilize its search power, I get to draw as many of the cards. So basically, like Shared Ride and Max C at the same time, like when they search or special summon, gotta draw out your good combos. So that's it for the spells. And then the traps, Ring of Destruction, Solemn Warning, And then 2 Trickstar Reincarnation. As I said, I'm trying to get the 3rd. But if you're not... Oh, and Trickstar Reincarnation is one of the newer ones. So it says banish your opponent's entire hand. And if they do, they draw the same number of cards. Also, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Then target 1 Trickstar monster in your graveyard, special summon it. So the setup of how you want this to be done is that you got to have 2 to 3 copies of Lycoris, as well as having Light Stage and 1 to 2 Dark Room of Nightmares to set up the OTK. And then there's 3 present card. Once per turn, your opponent discards their entire hand, then they draw 5 cards. And of course, it's a hard once per turn thing, so again, same reasons to go along with Trickstar Reincarnation. 2 Blazing Midforce, more burn damage cards, of course. 1 XYZ Reborn, in case your cowboy ends up killed on the field, you get to just bring it back, and then on your next turn, you get to burn more damage. And then 2 Call of the Hornets. As for extra deck, like I said, it needs work. So that would be 2 Trickstar Holly Angel. When it comes to Holly Angels, 2 Trickstar monsters is what it takes to link her. And she states each time a Trickstar monster is normal or special summon to a zone or zones that this card points to, they burn for 200 damage. Trickstar monsters that I control, or like the link markers that it points to, it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. And to top things off, whenever a Trickstar monster does that battle or effect damage, I believe, if your opponent takes damage by a Trickstar monster's effect, this card gains attack equal to the damage they took until the end of this turn. And then there is 2 Gaga Cowboys. Of course, you always got to have them in defense for the burn. And with that being said, James Polk showcasing the Trickstar deck, and I'll see you guys later.